you're nervous to do this, but you don't really want to not do it either. Does that make sense? It's like, I know I won't be satisfied if I don't make it. I'm just afraid that making this change, what will actually come out of it? Capricorn, you have a change you're wanting to make, and it's looking kind of scary. So let's do a reading here, and we're going to find out some details in regards to this change. That way then maybe we can, decide whether you actually want to do it or not. So let's take a look here. I just want to give a side note. There is where I am staying right now. I am literally moving this week into the house that I have purchased and whatever. And right now they're out here in this old place that I'm at. They are doing the roof on the building across the way. So I've turned up my music a little loud. So I'm hoping that it kind of drowns out all the noise and the music that they're playing and all that good stuff. So if you hear a bunch of banging around, it's them. So sorry about that. All right, so let's find out what's going on here for Capricorn. What we are going to do, let's see, the first question is, what unacknowledged fear is it that holds you back from making this change? What is the unacknowledged fear that holds Capricorn back from making this change? Now be sure to check your sun, moon, rising, and any prominent placements, just because it'll be kind of like, a pica card kind of thing. And so, kind of like that, but it's more like, here's my placement, check it out. Just check that out. If it doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate. That's fine. They have this tractor thing going in and out pretty regularly while they're picking up trash and stuff. Just gonna wait for that for a second. So let's do this. Let's just get started. I don't like being disturbed like this while I'm trying to do my readings. Okay. What unacknowledged fear? Here it is. The Tower. Interesting. You actually came out with 3. I'm only going to take the top one, but I'm going to keep note of the rest of this here. So the Tower is what came out. You're afraid of everything that you've built coming down. You're afraid of it all coming down. And right here it talks about the Lovers and the Hanged Man. What I feel like this has to do with is that I feel like this has to do with you making the choice and realizing that it wasn't the choice you actually wanted. That it actually wasn't as good as you thought it was. So you're concerned that the grass is greener on the other side than it actually is. You know what I mean? The grass is always greener. So it's like you're afraid of tearing down everything that you've built up just to check out this other thing this change you're wanting to make, just to check it out. And once you actually get there, you realize you're like, oh, that's not what I thought it was going to be. Understandable. That makes perfect sense. You know what I mean? I would be afraid of the same thing. So, all right. So what's the worst that can happen if you make this change? What's the worst that can happen if Capricorn makes this change, please? The Hierophant. Worst that can happen is the Hierophant. You find it far more strict than expected. Like very limiting. You find that it's not as freeing as you thought it was. I mean, because the Hierophant's all about traditional structures and guidance and all that stuff and everything. And this is to be excessive, where what's the worst that could happen? And that has to do with it being too much structure, too much of being told what to do. That kind of thing. Not really, no, not really open-mindedness. No open-mindedness. Okay, so what's the best that could happen if this change is made? What's the best that could happen if the change is made, please? Best that could happen for this change. Nope. Best that could happen for Capricorn. Best that could happen if Capricorn makes this change, please. Hello. Come on, what's the best that could happen if they make this change? Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Here we go. That one. I get impatient. Well, look at that. The Sun. That really is the best that could happen. The Sun is the happiest card in the deck. It creates illumination. It creates, you know, I guess you could kind of say enlightenment as well. Just because it brings light to everything. And including you, including your life, including everything for you. Your sight of how you're seeing things in your life. Absolutely. So I was thinking about the next one, which is what's the most likely result of actually making, what's the most likely result of actually making the change? Death. I don't know, like it seems like it's kind of obvious that death, I mean, because death is change. It's transformation. And yeah, this is basically like, yep, things will change. Well, thanks a lot. This is why we're going to clarify these, to find some specifics in regards to this. So you are concerned about tearing down like everything that you've built in your life, you know, it's your tower, your 3D that you've built, your pinnacle, right? You're concerned about tearing down everything that you've built. You're concerned that where you go, you won't have the flexibility, you won't have the open-mindedness. It'll be far more strict than you expected. But you hope that's the best thing that ever happened to you. That's what you're hoping for. And then, like, when I ask the question, so what's the most likely result? And they're like, yep, gonna change. No shit, Sherlock. Let's get some details. Let's get some details on this for Capricorn. All right, show me Capricorn. Show me details on these, please. Capricorn. Using another deck to see if we can get some repeating energies or whatnot. All right, tell me more about this tower. Tell me more about the fears. Just top? Oh, both. Okay. We've got, yeah, 7 of Cups and 5 of Pentacles. Yeah. So you are definitely worried about making a choice that's really going to put you out in the cold. You're worried about making that choice. You're worried about making the wrong choice. That's exactly what that's saying. You're concerned that that you can't go back. You can't go back. So it's like a permanent change that you're making. It's a permanent change. And you know it's permanent. You're pretty sure you wouldn't want to go back. You know what it feels like, Capricorn? Okay, this is what it feels like. It feels like you're like, I'm really scared to do this. Or I'm nervous to do this. I'm not going to say scared because, you know, it's not like shaking in your boots kind of thing. But you're nervous to do this, but you don't really want to not do it either. Does that make sense? It's like, I know I won't be satisfied if I don't make it. I'm just afraid that making this change, what will actually come out of it? It's a valid concern. But it goes to show that you should actually do this. You know, when you have that kind of fear about it. Like, and you know for a fact, you're like, I've got to do something. I've got to do something. You know you got to do it. No matter what, you're just overthinking about it. Okay, tell me about this Hierophant here, please. Why is this Hierophant here? Tell me more about it. About this worst thing that could happen once they make this change. Tell me more about that. Judgment. So we've got Judgment. Tell me more, please. I'm going to go with a couple more cards. Tell me more. 7 of Pentacles. Okay. And 9 of Pentacles. Okay. Okay. You know what? This says right here that in making this change, that your concern, you know, that you have here with the Hierophant, that it would be too strict, it would be too limiting, it would be whatever. It would force you to wait for your you're looking for your 9 of Pentacles, right? This is independent person creating their own life. And that Hierophant, that strictness, that more rules coming in would force you. Judgment is like force. It's almost like force, like divine forcing. Force you to wait. Force you to wait to get this. Like, why can't I have it faster? So maybe it'll go too slow. Maybe that's what you're concerned about. Maybe you're thinking it'll go too slow. All right, tell me about the Sun here. Tell me more about the best case scenario, please. Tell me more about the Sun. Can't get this thing to do. There. Tell me more about the Sun, please. There we go. 3 of Cups. Joy. Oh my goodness. 4 of Pentacles. And 6 of Swords. Good. Okay. Yeah, so like, you know, so with the 3 of Cups here and everything, 3 of Cups, 4 of Pentacles, and 6 of Swords. What this says is that you'll be able to retain your what actually makes you happy. It'll actually make your life a little bit smoother with the 6 of Swords. It'll make your life a little bit smoother, less disrupted, less chaotic. And you'll be able to continue to do the things you want to do. Because like the 4 of Pentacles is saying retain. So you're trying to keep something. Like in this change thing, but you're trying to keep a certain thing. I'm not sure what you're trying to keep, but it says right here that you'll be able to keep it. And with the 3 of 8 of Wands and the Fool, doing what you want. I'm going to say it's doing what you want. In regards to whatever is here. Maybe it's a whole like entrepreneurship thing. I mean, I am talking to Capricorn. Could be an entrepreneurship thing. You're afraid, you're concerned that you'll end up having to go back under the man, you know, the Hierophant. But with the Sun being on your own, and you'll have your freedom to do whatever you want. And you're not limited to what somebody else is telling you to do. Temperance. Proper balance within you. A lot of like divine pushing here though. Tell me more about this Death card, please. Tell me more about this most likely result, because like, yeah, something's gonna change. Come on, guys. Tell me about the Death card, about the most likely result. The Star. That's a good start. The Star. Tell me more. King of Swords and 3 of Swords. Okay. So I'm going to say that there is going to be a measure of a little bit of heartache in this process. But I'm going to qualify that with what change doesn't. Every change has a little bit of heartache, but I'm going to say that there's going to be something that, because you're making this decision, there is going to be a broken heart in there somewhere. It could be a broken heart that you're willing to go through to do this. I feel like it is. I feel like it's a choice to do this. And you know it's going to hurt you. And that's why you're worried about it. You know it's going to hurt you. You know it might hurt others or whatever. And what keeps coming up in my head here is someone who's trying to break free from like a job or like a long-term job or a long-term relationship even. Trying to break away from it because they know they're going nowhere. That's what it feels like. This feels like trying to break away from a long-term, job or a long-term relationship that isn't going anywhere, isn't growing anymore, or no longer has benefit. And like with this whole retaining the Three of Cups thing, retaining Three of Cups with the Four of Pentacles, holding on to your friends, holding on to your enjoyment, and like how I feel like with this Three of Cups is like people that make you happy. Holding on to those people. So if it is a relationship or something like that, the best case scenario is you still get to hold on to your friends. You still get to go see your friends and everything, but your life is a lot smoother. Because sometimes people make changes in their lives because they're tired of expecting certain things. Because, let's say you're married, okay? You're married, long-term relationship. It's been 20 years. I'm just throwing this out here. It's been 20 years you've been married, okay? And your kids are grown up and out the door, right? Kids are grown up and out the door. And now you and your spouse are just like, now what? And really, because your whole life had been about those kids or something like that. You know what I mean? So now suddenly it's like what's happened between you and your spouse, it's gone dead. And you're like, okay. And you've tried to fix it. And now you're just like, okay, I want to make this change. I think it's time I think everything's just run its time. Because you know what? Not a lot of hard truth is that there's a lot of relationships that are not meant to last forever. They're really not. Even though you've raised children, you've done all this other stuff and everything, sometimes once you're done with that, you're done. Sometimes you're done. I may be just ranting on about nothing, but but that's what I've got for you today here, Capricorn. Thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate you, and I will see you next time.